Welcome to Hits Different.
Lee hee hee. Slay, not bad. I'm Ryan, and that's Molly.
We have so much for you today. Travis started talking about TS12 and how all of the music videos that Taylor has released in the last couple of years have been hinting at the order of her re-recorded albums.
But first, we made a survey, and we would love to hear from you guys and get some of your feedback. It's our first survey, and we are talking about our content, and we want to hear what content you guys want and if we've been giving you the stuff that you want. So it's really important to make sure that we create the best stuff for you guys.
The survey will be linked to in the description of this episode. We really appreciate you taking the time to fill it out, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, or follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Now it's time for our brand new segment that we're calling No, I Didn't See the News.
'Cause you were somewhere else.
We're just going to tell you some of the things that have happened since our last episode. So, Taylor Nation wants everyone to submit their photos to the TS Eras Tour archives again. They did this after the Eras Tour ended. They're doing it again. There's only a couple of posts on this archives website that they've shown. There's like maybe 4 or 5 per era. So what are they doing with all of these posts, right?
They're being sus again, obviously. I literally saw that they posted, ran, saw what it was, didn't see any Easter eggs, and then was like, Molly probably submitted for us. Did you?
Well, I submitted the first time. I'm like, I don't have any new Instagram posts of ours for the Eras Tour.
It's okay. Just resend it. You know they're not keeping track.
Yeah. Just like keep submitting duplicate entries.
Yeah.
Like, please post our pictures from
Please
Edinburgh.
notice me. I don't know what you're doing this for. Part of me is like, I mean, you know, the documentary rumors, I don't know that's relevant, but it's like if they wanted to create some promo or something for it, or they're just like, y'all are bored, it's post eras. I don't know.
So, you know, at like the end of the Eras Tour movie, they used footage of both bloopers from Taylor on stage and also fan footage. I'm like, maybe that's why they're collecting all of these posts, is because they're going to use it for something. When I submitted our photos originally, you have to pick what era you're submitting the photo for. And so I had to select, like, resubmit for multiple eras, because I'm like, I was dressed as, well, I guess in my case, I was really just dressed as Taylor. So, like, at Chiefs games.
Chiefs era.
You had both Torture Poets and Midnights, and we had that all in the same, like, carousel of the same Instagram post. So I just kept linking the same thing and resubmitting it for different eras.
I mean, with Taylor Nation, it's never too much. They have a lot of submissions, so just keep submitting it, you know?
Yeah. Also, people have asked us who Taylor Nation is. They are Taylor's, like, official fan account. Whenever Taylor Nation, it's at Taylor Nation on like Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everything, they post stuff, and that's usually how we find out Taylor news. They are way more active on social media than Taylor is herself.
They are the eyes in the sky for Taylor.
Yes.
They're out there keeping tabs on people, vetting people, keeping people stoked and involved, and they're basically second to Taylor.
Yeah. They send us with their cryptic things. Like last week, they posted one random morning the heart emoji with the arrow going through it. And we were all like, what's happening? What are they doing? And then within an hour, the Lover Live from Paris vinyls were re-released on Taylor's website.
Which is funny because that was an Easter egg that, or like a hint, clue, whatever you call it, that people got like immediately. They're like, Lover Live from Paris coming back, please, because so many people didn't get it the first time. It's interesting, though, to drop it over a month before Valentine's Day. And so a lot of people think that they're going to keep doing this, and then we're going to get more Lover-esque, because obviously Valentine's Day belongs to Lover.
The Lover Live from Paris vinyl was people's biggest in search of, because I was reading, I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I was reading that the original Lover Live from Paris vinyls that were released a couple of years ago, that there were only like 1,000 of those or 10,000 of them. Oh, wow. Some, like a very small number. And so we were both lucky enough to get one. And for anyone who's like, what is Lover Live from Paris? Taylor performed a concert a couple weeks after the Lover album dropped in Paris, and she sang a bunch of the songs from Lover for the first time, and then that really ended up being the only Lover concert because Loverfest got canceled.
The playlist is on Spotify. If you haven't heard it, it is absolutely insane. I was just listening to it again the other night and oof, yes.
Yeah. She sings Cornelia Street and Death by a Thousand Cuts acoustic, and
Those
it's
are my
the
favorites,
best.
on that little bit. Does the new Lover vinyl have the OG lyrics to Me? Spelling is Fun?
So I haven't received the new version yet. The OG version does. And so I'm thinking the new version has to because it's the same concert.
True. That would
Like,
be
she sang it live.
so funny if they edited it.
They're
like,
out.
I know, that'd be doing the most. I mean, yeah, and I've always thought when they brought back merch like this that it's because they had a surplus, which doesn't make sense because, again, all of Taylor's merch sells out all the time. But this proved that obviously it was different than the original because the colors were different.
The original release, it was one pink vinyl and one blue vinyl, and they're heart-shaped, you know.
That's the best part.
For a lover,
Yeah.
It does make it harder to play it, though.
Does it? Oh, to skip?
When you try and get to like the very beginning of the first song, like the first time I was trying, I kept like missing the thing, and it was like hitting the crease of the heart.
Yeah, it's very unique.
And then the new drop that happened last week, they were like marbly colors. So there was a pink and blue, and then like a pink yellow is how it looked in the photos. But then in the natural light of people who are starting to get them, it looks a little orangey.
Yeah, that people were holding them up to the windows and like the light coming through, and they are very pretty. They are also giving TS12 colors from the assumed color scheme that we've all obviously mapped out and made it definitive. Of TS12 will be the sunset, sunrise, kind of like Lover,
but hopefully without the anxiety.
Yeah. Like, well, like Lover color scheme, like orangey, you know what I mean?
Well, because she started adding all of that orange into the Eras tour, and then she was kind of wearing some pastels last summer, so people started to think, is that going to be the colors of TS12? And now this all seems to be tying into that. And orange is one of the only colors she has left.
I know, and sorry for the Karma Truthers, is kind of, you know, ruins that idea because people think orange belongs to Karma, but technically Rep had it first with the long lost orange Rep vinyl, and maybe now TS12 will have it.
We love the color orange. Rep has orange as part of its genre, but if the next album is truly orange, I will lose it.
It'll be a good color because the Rep orange is like a classic color, whereas I think this is going to be more like, yeah, like sunsetty orange and yellows mixed. So I actually
like
might wear
orange.
it. I usually don't wear orange and red and all those colors because they don't go with my skin tone. But
yeah, like the harsh bright orange was the Rep one, like aggressively
like my
orange.
alma mater. Orange.
Yeah, same.
We've talked about this. You have a better orange. For those who don't know, Molly and I's, both of our alumni colors are orange and blue. We did not go to the same college. She has the better blue and a slightly darker orange. Just a little bit.
You have the better blue.
No.
It's just, it pops more.
It's like a royal blue?
Yeah, ours is a navy.
Yeah. I don't look good in royal blue or orange, so...
This is how Ryan and I hit it off when we first were roommates, when we were interns forever ago, was that we both had orange and blue decorations for our dorm room.
We both had a stuffed pillow of our mascots. So it was like, all right, this is going to work.
You brought your pillow pet? Yes.
I did.
Speaking of merch, hello. This is my debut of the Rep mock neck on the pod. Had to wear it today.
I don't have official merch, so don't come for me. But I was gifted this very cool
Down Bad.
It's very like, if you know, you know, which you would think everyone knows, but not everyone knows. It's just like, sick spaceship. Who's that girl? You know?
Did you really beam me up?
There's no like Taylor Swift verbiage. There's nothing. It's very subtle. So
yeah, that's a really cool shirt. Yes,
so we know
Props
that's
to the gift giver.
That is the vibe.
Clubs.
Black.
So we were mentioning TS12, and guess who else talked about TS12? This literally is the best way to start off my week. Travis Kelce on the Pat McAfee show. It always gets the good nuggets. When Travis went on the Pat McAfee show back last year, that's when he said, oh, I told Taylor she should come to a game. I've seen her rock the stage at Arrowhead. She should come see me rock the stage at Arrowhead. So like Pat McAfee is at the scene of the crime of Travis like hinting at Taylor stuff. And Pat Pat got him to do it again.
Even though Travis tries so hard to be like, I can't talk about that. And then he's like, you know, he wants to so bad. And Pat's so easy to talk to. It's like, you just want to, you know, just chat about it. And it's like, oh, we're live.
Right? Yeah, they are for sure live. It is not a pre-taped interview that airs later. It was live. And so early on in the interview, when Pat's like, how are you feeling? Getting ready for the playoffs. Travis is like, I'm feeling 22. And he just kind of keeps talking. But Pat's face and the rest of the folks who are on screen were like, and they start going like this. And Travis is like, yeah, I hope you'd get that reference.
Pat's like, oh my God, he's talking about Taylor. He dropped the Taylor thing subtly.
Pat is a big Swiftie. He talked for a long time on his show about going to see Taylor in Indy, and they talked about it again in the interview with Travis. But the TS12 part of the interview, Pat's like, I mean, it's just so funny. Sorry. I'm like rereading the quote.
I know the quotes. Yeah.
The quote is so good. He's like telling Travis, thanks for giving us a good name, you know, making a good name for all the football guys out there, because there are so many boys out there. Travis starts losing it at this point. He's like head back, like cracking up. And Pat goes, I've heard about them all because of my wife, because I've heard all the albums. And so I appreciate you. Hopefully there's like songs about, hey, like a guy's doing good things. And Travis said, there may be a few.
Yeah. He tried to be subtle and was like, oh yeah, like I hear music everywhere, like, you know, all the time. It's like, yeah, because you know your girl is playing you songs and is like, listen to this one. Right? What about this? And keeping you up late on the piano, just, you know, as she does.
So Pat was like, his face lit up the second that Travis said that, like, there may be a few. And Pat's like, so have you heard them? And that's when Travis said the music everywhere thing. I'm like, he deflected so fast and he said, you know, I can't talk about that.
Yeah. It's like, but you are. You just did.
So we already knew Taylor was working on new music because that got worked into the press after the Eras tour ended, but Travis has now officially confirmed it.
Right. And he's stoked because he is on the album, assumedly.
I just realized I've been meaning to make fun of you for this before. You say assumed. It's assumed.
Nuh-uh. Okay, I don't normally say assumed.
No, you do.
I do not.
You did.
I just said assumedly.
Yes, but like literally 5 minutes prior to that, you said assumed.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
What? Thanks for telling me this now.
Roll the tape back.
They are also giving TS12 colors from the assumed, you know, color scheme. Assumed.
Yeah.
Assumed.
But I didn't know assumedly was a word, so there you go. You're right.
Yeah.
I almost corrected you earlier, but you went on to something else, and I was like, I should just go with her and not stop her.
It's okay. She's from Florida. The education system is terrible there, okay? I'm sorry.
Travis also indicated that Taylor will be at the playoff game this upcoming weekend because it's a home game. It's been a while since we've seen her at a game. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what outfit she pulls out.
So now is the perfect time that we're talking about the Chiefs. This is the perfect time to bring in our Chiefs correspondent, Alex. Take it away.
Thanks, Ryan. Chiefs play the Texans this weekend, so here's how we got there. The Chiefs, they've been off for almost 3 weeks for their starters at this point, so should be fully rested, ready to go. Texans, their opponent, they're coming off of a pretty decisive win against the Los Angeles Chargers, 32-12. The Texans have played the Chiefs really recently, actually. It was mid-December, December 21st, the Chiefs winning that game 27-19. Couple of notes from that game. Travis didn't do much, 30 yards receiving. Pretty quiet game from him, but notably, Patrick Mahomes had just come off a sprained ankle the week prior. The first drive for the Chiefs in that game was a 15-yard rushing touchdown by Patrick Mahomes, so clearly not as hampered as folks thought he was going to be. The other note to note is that the last time we saw Taylor Swift at a Chiefs game was against the Texans. So she'll be seeing the Texans in back-to-back games, one in the regular season and one in the playoffs.
We'll channel our Pat McAfee. Great job, Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Thanks for that update. We will be doing a Chiefs recap after the game on Saturday that will be available on our Patreon channel. So the Patreon channel is linked to in the description of this episode if you want to go check that out this weekend. Another update for you is related to the Grammys. Many of you may know that there were huge wildfires that spread across California over the last week, and there were starting to be talks that maybe the Grammys would be postponed, but they have confirmed that they will continue as planned.
Also, in their statement, they mention that this year's show will carry a renewed sense of purpose, raising additional funds to support wildfire relief efforts and honoring the bravery and dedication of first responders who risk their lives to protect ours. And of course, our hearts go out to everyone who has been affected by the fires. It's really scary what's going on out there, and we hope that all of you guys are safe. I know we had some people in our Discord who live out there, so just keeping tabs on you guys. Make sure you guys are doing good.
It's been awful to watch the news and see all of that lately, and hopefully the Grammys proceeding as planned at least can give people something to look forward to. I know that music can provide a lot of comfort to all of us, so hopefully it'll be a special night and a lot of money will be raised for everyone who needs it out there.
So in our last episode, we gave y'all the rundown on the trademark situation with Taylor's 2 final re-records, and we learned a little bit more information since then. Just wanted to update you guys. So just to sum it up and remind anyone who hasn't seen our last episode, basically Taylor is allowed 5 extensions for her trademarks for Rep TV and Taylor Swift TV, and she is about to renew for the 5th and final time, and each extension is 6 months long. So that's where we landed, saying that she had till August 16th to re-release these albums. But the update is that technically she can refile the trademarks again. I don't think it's very likely because, well, because I want Rep TV to come out this year, but also because of Taylor's recent album release patterns that's been going on since 2022 of one new album, the next year 2 re-records, the next year 1 album, which lands us this year, which would be 2 re-records, which just tees it up perfectly. So, we are all still clowning and just wanted to, add a little asterisk over all of that.
Right. Yes. It's a lot less exciting to think that she could just reapply for the trademark when it expires. But what else happened in 2022? Midnights was released.
I was like,
okay.
I know this answer. Midnights.
So the pattern that Ryan was just referencing started around the time Midnights was released. And from the time that Midnights was released to now, we've gotten so many music videos with so many Easter eggs. We've talked about a lot of them in various episodes, but we want to dive into the specific Easter eggs that have led us to knowing the order of the re-records coming out.
And what that might mean for when we're going to get Rep TV and debut. Taylor Swift, I don't know, debut self-titled, Taylor Swift, Taylor's version,
I feel like we're going to have to start practicing now calling it Taylor Swift, Taylor's version instead of debut.
No, not until it's official. I won't. It's too wordy. TV. It's going to be TV. Come on.
TSTV.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's like when we couldn't say the Tortured Poets Department at first.
Yeah, but no one says the Tortured Poets Department. They all say TTPD or Tortured Poets.
Right.
Or Tortured Poets Department. The doesn't exist. It's one word too many. People are like, no. So yeah, TSTV, I guess. Anyway.
TSTV.
Yo, you like that? Taylor's about to release the Taylor Swift album. It's like, which one? It's like Taylor Swift. It's like, oh, Taylor's version. Wait, aren't they all Taylor's version? They are now. That's very confusing. Because technically they all will be Taylor's version after debut self-titled Taylor's version, Taylor Swift comes out.
And Rep. Taylor's version.
Yes. Yeah.
So the first music video of the Midnights era was the Anti-Hero music video, and there are definitely a lot of Easter eggs in that music video as well. But the main thing I want to call out for the purposes of this episode is that there's a funeral scene where there's Taylor's adult children. So we're looking into the future, okay? Taylor has children and they're reading her will and they find out that she basically left them nothing. They're like, wait, what if there's a secret encoded message that means something else? And they keep reading the will and they get to the bottom and it says, P.S. there is no secret encoded message that means something else.
She got us.
She got
Her
us.
funeral scene.
She's making fun of all the Swifties who are constantly looking for Easter eggs. And she's right. Okay, we're always looking for Easter eggs. But then you know what she did after that? After releasing the Anti-Hero music video? A couple days later, she went on Jimmy Fallon and she talked about the next music video that she was about to release, which was Bejeweled. And then she proceeded to say that for the Bejeweled music video, there were so many Easter eggs that she had a PDF document to keep track of all of them for the crew because they literally couldn't remember them all otherwise.
Release the doc, please.
For
Throw it in the
real.
vault with everything else and release it. Because, man, that would be fun to read.
Right? Who has the PDF? Someone let us
Dude,
know.
Taylor,
It's-
come on.
It's definitely locked up under NDAs, but I just think it's so perfectly Taylor. Like the Anti-Hero music video in itself is like Taylor's two selves fighting with each other, right? And this is also the perfect example of like, she's calling us out for looking for Easter eggs and then proceeds to release in the next music video one that is littered with Easter eggs that hinted at the release order for her re-recorded albums.
Yes, because she's probably like fighting. She has two versions, you know? It's like, she's like, okay, guys, this is serious. There's no hidden message. And then she's like, but it's so fun. I just put a little, you know? And then she goes online and sees all of our crazy theories and she's like, they got it. So smart.
It's just this little game that we all play, and it's Taylor's own doing. She
created
puts
this.
Yeah, she created this monster and it's so fun to participate in. And there are so many Easter eggs in this Bejeweled music video. So that's the first one we were going to really dive into and hit all these key points. So as a reminder, when the Midnight's era started, the re-records that we had at that time were Fearless and Red, which came out in 2021. And then Midnight's comes out in 2022. So we don't know about when Speak Now or 1989 Taylor's versions are going to come out yet. They have not been announced. We are just fresh in the Midnight's era. In the opening scene of the Bejeweled music video, it sets up this whole theme of Cinderella, and she has the Haim sisters as her stepsisters and Laura Dern as her stepmother, and we find out that she's been exiled.
And I'll just add that the Bejeweled music video is also a great place to start because the Easter eggs, not everything has happened, but a lot of the stuff has happened and we have gotten some re-records this music video pointed to. So it's just a good example to show you how she does it. But yeah, that just the opening scene alone is just like littered. And then there's a part where they like pause it and it says like what each Haim sister like wants. And it's interesting because Taylor says she wants the castle. And again, this
My
is
castle crumbled overnight.
before we knew anything about Speak Now TV. And the main re-recording she pointed to in this video is Speak Now, but there are others that she also nodded to. But that was like the big one because it was up next. So it's a lot of Speak Now. The enchanted instrumental playing in the background during this scene.
There are so many Easter eggs that point to Speak Now, like you said, and also just the Eras tour. So at the time that Midnight's came out, we very shortly found out about the Eras tour shortly after that. And so when she has the enchanted instrumental in the background, now I'm watching it thinking, was that her hint that Enchanted was going to be the song from Speak Now on the set list?
And I don't want to jump ahead because
It's
that
okay.
would be.
We'll just throw out all the Easter eggs.
But as Molly pointed out, she's also playing Long Live at the end of the music video, which we know briefly we had Long Live and Enchanted during the Eras tour. We also had the Haim sisters. Was that an Easter egg?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that they were openers.
I mean, I never thought any of this was Easter eggs for the Eras tour, so that's just... Yeah.
Right. That's just fun fact. So not only is she hinting at what the next re-record was going to be, but she was hinting at the two songs that would ultimately make the set list on the Eras tour as well. And the instrumentals are so pretty.
Yeah, and you're like, wait, is that Enchanted? And imagine, like, you have no idea Speak Now is right around the corner, and you know, she's over here just sprinkling in little things.
It's also the perfect song because it's like about meeting someone and having a magical night. And like we were just saying, the theme of the music video is like Cinderella. She's going to the ball, but in this ball, she has to win a talent show because she's been exiled. So in order to get back her castle, she has to win this talent show and impress the queen. And this is the whole concept of her being exiled. I feel like has always been a nod to the Reputation era.
Yeah, it was a time in her life where she was exiled by the world. And anytime you hear exile, it's not just a song on folklore, it's also a deeper meaning.
Right. So in this scene, also, one of the Haim sisters calls her a snake. And this is where we get the introduction to this exile ends theory that we've been talking about forever. Because as soon as the sisters and her evil stepmother leave the room, she looks at the camera and the pocket watch drops down. She grabs it, opens it up, and it goes 3, 2.
It says exile ends on like the little pocket watch thing, whatever. Yeah, exile ends. It's also a clock. It's a clock.
It's a clock.
But we never see the 1, which has always been very interesting. But I guess it's just assume it because, you know, it's like a camera cut. It's like exile ends in 3, 2, and then she cuts the scene. And now that pocket watch is famous beyond belief. It is, anytime we talk about exile ends, that is what we are referencing, because technically it has not come to full fruition yet because she still has 2 re-records left, and her exile can't end until she has all of her re-records.
Correct. And that pocket watch, I think, is like this shape of a clamshell, like the exterior. So Ryan and I both got actually the ornament for Christmas this year. And so we actually were like looking at it and it looks like a clamshell. So just keep that in your noggin for when we get to the Karma music video in our next episode, because it ties into that. But this whole scene is setting up the rest of the music video where Taylor takes this watch, gets on the elevator, and when she gets on the elevator, she pulls up a freaking hood that is so rep coded.
It's basically the same hood, not actually, from Ready For It / the Reputation Stadium tour. I mean, I know we all associate black with rep, but like for real, it's it. It's like sparkly, bedazzled, whatever. And I know she's bejeweled, and that's the music video, but like, no, it's rep. It's rep.
And I feel like part of the reason that I think it's an ode to rep is also just because of all the themes we're talking about here. Like, she's about to like leave the basement and go and like end her exile and like win back the castle. And what's she doing to get that? Her Reputation hoodie. She's ready to go. She is ready for it. So she gets on this elevator, and the elevator has buttons that are all color coded, and the numbers and colors like match up to her albums, right? So for example, the 3 is purple. And what's the first button she pushes? The 3.
3, speak now. So she's like, first up, first floor, speak now.
AKA Speak Now was going to be the first re-record announced after this music video came out.
And then after she's on the Speak Now floor 3, she goes to floor 5, aka 1989, aka the next re-record we got after Speak Now. Didn't know that then. It's always fun to go back and watch these because you're like, we didn't know any of this then, what we know now. And it's like, I mean, we had assumptions, but like to know how it all played out,
right?
You're like, wow.
Right. I remember everyone freaking out about the elevator buttons and the 3 and the 5, but it was one of those things of like, will we be right? And we were.
Granted, I feel like the Bejeweled video is literally her most like, hello, this is it, which is probably why it's like so satisfying, because it's like not that we're geniuses because we equate the purple, the 3, you know, all the obvious things. It's like it's almost more fun because you're like, thank God she didn't make us have to like deep dive this. Unlike the Karma music video, spoiler, that one's a little bit more in your face, but like still it's not as obvious with the numbers and the colors that are directly associated.
That's why I feel like the Exile Ends thing haunts us so much, because so many other Easter eggs meant something in this music video that it's like the exile ends going 3, 2 must mean something. Like
For
last
sure.
year, we thought it meant March 2nd, there would be an announcement, or like 3-2 and whatever. And we have more theories about 3-2-1, 1-2-3.
They
that
play
we
into
will
our
be-
clown dates. Yes.
Yes, it plays into our clown dates.
Now you know, exile ends.
But yeah, that's why it haunts me forever, because I'm like, everything in this music video was so intentional that I have to believe that the 3-2 meant something.
Of course. it did.
Anyway, so after she's now gone to floor 3, floor 5, then she goes up to floor 13 for the talent show where she performs in front of the Queen, Pat McGrath. And Queen Pat is sitting on a Rep AF throne.
When I went back to get the images to compare, I remember it was similar, but like, no, like literally, I think it's like the same chair. Like for real, like if you look closely, like the points of the chair and the very top is the same. If you look at the bottom, there's like these little flowers. The same. The only thing that's different is in the Look What You Made Me Do music video, the little like top of the armrest it's the Et tu Brute quote, which people talk about a lot. And it's like these like skulls. And then in the Bejeweled video, it looks like they're dragons. I was trying to I was like, are they lions or dragons? I don't know. I think they're dragons, which makes sense again to speak now. And also in the back behind the queen, you have these like little wings coming off of the chair. Could be more dragon-esque. And then like you see like the blue and like the pink or whatever. So pretty sure it's the same dang chair. So of course people were like, oh my God. And the queen is wearing black. So, you know, little
It's
nod.
perfect.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
And in case you didn't know, Pat McGrath is a makeup artist. Taylor wears a lot of her makeup. I guess she was doing the makeup for everyone on set for the Bejeweled music video, so Taylor wanted her to be in it too. When I was rewatching it, I was like, wait, why is she in it? And so I was looking that up. I'm like, that's a fun little fact I didn't realize. Pat is sitting in the rep throne that looks like the one from Look What You Made Me Do, and she picks Taylor to win the contest. Taylor then gets proposed to by Jack, because Jack's the prince, and she ghosts him and just takes the castle. And when she walks out into the balcony of this castle, that's when the Long Live instrumental plays and dragons fly around. And it is like, again, the most in your face Speak Now is coming next.
It's also interesting and I guess like always confusing how she like ties in so many things that it's like trying to throw you off / like why not insert another Easter egg. Her on the balcony is like very much similar to Love Story, the scene where she goes out on the balcony.
And then that same balcony, I think, is referenced again in the I Can See You music video, which ends up coming out the next
There's
summer.
a balcony and I Can See You?
So in I Can See You, when Joey King and Taylor Lautner are like going through kind of the museum of stuff, there's like dresses and photos, and in the background of one of those shots you see the balcony.
Oh, I
Yeah.
literally just watched the other day. I must have missed that.
It's not like a focal point, so the balcony is definitely tied to Speak Now then officially later on as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, Taylor just has that look on her face at the end of the Bejeweled music video. She's like, oh yeah, I have a lot planned.
Does that mean that Love Story, like the original Love Story, could have been like an Easter egg for, or maybe not Easter egg because, you know, it was a long time ago, but maybe like inspiration for Speak Now's vibe of like castle dragons?
I don't know.
Because like the whole castle thing started with Fearless.
Yeah. I mean, I think Taylor just liked to picture herself as a princess.
True.
Like, she was just one of those girls. And the vault track, Castles Crumbling, again, at this time, we didn't even know about it. So she
No.
wins back her castle for Speak Now, but her castle's going to crumble. And again, like I sang the lyrics earlier, that also ties into Rep. My castle crumbled overnight. I brought a knife to a gunfight. They took the crown, but it's all right.
I wish Hayley Williams had been in that music video, the ultimate Easter egg.
Oh, that would have been so
duplicitous
good.
Castles Crumbling and the Eras Tour. Like, oh, what's Hayley Williams doing here? You'll find out.
Oh my gosh.
She probably didn't know. Otherwise, I feel like she would have. I don't know.
That would have been so good. Well, also at the time that they were shooting this, it was still COVID
True.
protocol. So
True.
in the BTS videos actually that we got on Taylor's birthday, we find out that apparently they didn't even shoot the scenes with Laura Dern and the Haim sisters together.
Yeah.
They did
That's
a really good
crazy.
job like juxtaposing all of that because it looks like they're all playing off of each other.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the Bejeweled music video. If you haven't watched it in a while, you should go give it a rewatch and you'll see how all of these things that Taylor put in this music video told us what was going to happen. Speak Now was going to be first, 1989 was going to be next, and she started dropping those rep hints in.
Which little did we know then we would be getting for 3 more years. What? This came out in 2022. That is insane.
It's crazy.
They were baby hints back then. In our next episode, when we talk about the Karma music video, however, we are a little bit closer to rap, even though that still came out a minute ago at this point.
Yep. So in our next episode, we are going to go through all of those. And that music video has maybe even more Easter eggs, but they haven't come true necessarily.
Yeah, so we gave you guys an example of video where things have come true so you can see how it all played out. But now it brings you to the present of what's going to happen. And why do we think Rep is next? Not just because it's our favorite album, but because there might be clues leading us to that information.
And in our next episode, we'll also lean into some of the clown date theories we've been talking about already a little bit with January 23rd and March 21st, but we'll give you some more explanations. So it's going to be really good. I'm excited. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
It'll drop just in time for January 23rd. So we
Yes.
can all laugh together as we watch our episode and wonder if we were once again incorrect. Also, just a friendly reminder to check out that survey we have in the link in our description because we just really want to create the content that you guys want to see and hear. So your feedback is really important and appreciated.
And as a reminder, go check out our Patreon this weekend. After the Chiefs game, we'll be posting our recap update there, assuming that Taylor goes to the game. And like we said at the beginning of this episode, the Grammys are officially confirmed for February 2nd. We are a go, which means Ryan and I will still be doing our live stream after the Grammys when we're together. So we can't wait to see you guys all there. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you get notified when we do go live. And go follow us on all of our socials at It Hits Stiff Pod. Thanks for watching.
Bye.